The story of Georgie and Mandy's first marriage continues to unfold with emotional highs, warm humor, and a dash of bittersweet nostalgia that perfectly captures the spirit of young Sheldon. As we gear up for Season 2, Episode 3, fans can expect an episode filled with heartfelt family moments, a bit of tension, and a few surprises that honor both the past and the future of the Cooper family. This spin-off has quickly carved out its own identity while keeping the soul of young Sheldon alive. With Georgie, Montana Jordan, and Mandy, Emily Osment, trying to navigate the unpredictable waters of young marriage and parenthood, Episode 3 promises to explore how love, responsibility, and the ghosts of their past shape the choices they make today. A marriage tested by real life. In Episode 3, Georgie and Mandy face one of their biggest challenges yet, the collision between dreams and reality. Their young marriage, still new and fragile, is being tested by the pressure of raising their daughter Cease, balancing work, and dealing with the everyday chaos that comes with family life. Georgie, ever the dreamer, wants to prove he can provide more than just stability. He wants to give Mandy and Cease a real future. But as fans know, Georgie's good intentions often lead him into trouble. Expect to see him juggling his job at the tire shop, a potential new business idea, and a surprising opportunity that could either lift him up or set him back. Mandy, on the other hand, is struggling with the weight of being a mother and wife while still trying to figure out who she is beyond those roles. Episode 3 hints that she'll get a chance to step back and reevaluate her choices, and that might lead to some tension between her and Georgie. But their chemistry, both fiery and tender, remains at the center of the show. A return to the Cooper legacy. One of the most exciting parts of Episode 3 is the emotional connection to the young Sheldon timeline. The Cooper name still carries the echoes of Sheldon, Mary, and George SR, and those echoes will be felt again this week. Rumor has it that Georgie and Mandy will find themselves revisiting a place tied to Sheldon's childhood, perhaps the old Cooper family home or a location that holds memories of George SR. This nostalgic return could bring a few tears to longtime fans, especially those who remember the heartbreak of George SR's death in young Sheldon. The showrunners seem to be weaving in subtle parallels between George SR and Georgie, both men who loved deeply, worked hard, and made mistakes in the name of family. As Georgie struggles to be a good husband and father, his late father's presence feels more powerful than ever, shaping him in unseen ways. Episode 3 might explore that emotional lineage, reminding us that even in a new generation, the Coopers remain beautifully flawed and deeply human. Comedy and chaos, the heart of the Coopers. No Cooper story would be complete without a touch of humor, and Episode 3 promises plenty of it. From Georgie's over-the-top attempts to fix a household issue to Mandy's sarcastic jabs that land with perfect timing, the show maintains the comedic rhythm that made young Sheldon so beloved. Expect a few hilarious moments involving Meemaw, Annie Potts, whose wisdom, often wrapped in sharp wit, will continue to be the glue that holds everyone together. Whether she's meddling in Georgie's plans or babysitting Cease with her signature sass, Meemaw always steals the scene. There's also word that Missy, Regan Revord, could make a small but memorable appearance. Her dynamic with Georgie has always been one of the most endearing sibling relationships in the young Sheldon universe, and seeing her interact with Mandy could bring both laughs and a few heartfelt truths. Love, laughter, and lessons. Every episode of Georgie and Mandy's first marriage so far has centered on one core theme: the messy, unpredictable, yet deeply rewarding nature of love. Episode 3 continues that exploration, but adds a layer of maturity as both characters learn what it really means to build a life together. A key subplot might revolve around a misunderstanding, perhaps involving Georgie's business dealings or Mandy's old flame, that forces them to confront their trust issues. It's the kind of conflict that doesn't just create drama for the sake of it, but pushes both characters to grow. Mandy, who once saw Georgie as just a reckless kid, begins to recognize the quiet determination behind his goofy smile. Georgie, meanwhile, finally starts understanding that love isn't about grand gestures, but about showing up every single day. By the end of the episode, we might see them take a small but meaningful step toward true partnership. Cinematic nostalgia and warm Southern charm. Visually and tonally, Episode 3 continues to carry that young Sheldon flavor. The warm Texas sunlight, the cozy homes, the country music hum in the background, and the mix of laughter and melancholy that defines small-town storytelling. The writing balances nostalgia with fresh energy. Fans who grew up watching young Sheldon will feel right at home, yet the new series never feels like a copy. Instead, it's like coming back to a familiar porch swing, creaky but comforting, where new stories unfold beneath the same old sky. Emily Osment and Montana Jordan's performances remain a highlight. Their chemistry feels lived in, playful yet grounded. They embody the realism of young parents trying to hold it all together while still figuring out what forever really means. What's next for the Coopers? As Episode 3 closes, expect a cliffhanger that sets the tone for the rest of the season. Whether it's a new financial challenge, a family secret, or an unexpected visit from a familiar face, the show loves ending on a note that keeps fans eager for next week. Many fans are also hopping for more ties to Sheldon's adult life, maybe a hint of how his brother and sister's choices shaped his future. Though this is Georgie and Mandy's story, it's impossible to forget that every decision they make ripples through the Cooper family tree. Final thoughts. Georgie and Mandy's First Marriage Season 2, Episode 3 promises to be another heartfelt chapter in a growing story about love, responsibility, and second chances. It captures everything that made young Sheldon special: humor, heart, and humanity, while charting its own course through new emotional territory. For fans who have followed the Coopers from Sheldon's quirky childhood to Georgie's grown-up adventures, this episode will feel like coming home. Expect laughter, a few tears, and plenty of those tender moments that remind us why we fell in love with this family in the first place. So grab your favorite snack, settle in, and get ready for another dose of young Sheldon vibes. Because Episode 3 is bound to remind us that even when life gets messy, family always finds a way to hold together.